This is a video that I've thought about making over the past week or so, and I decided that I want to just get in and record it before I start doing anything more lighthearted on the channel, and it kind of detracts from that. So this is going to be a bit more of a serious video, and it's not like any video that I've ever really recorded before, but I do think it is important because this is some stuff that has been going around my mind a bit lately, and I did want to address it and talk about it a bit. Depression, mental illness, suffering, hurt, pain, these are all very real things. Very real things. And it affects a lot of people. It really does. A lot of people that I know personally have been affected differently by a lot of different things. And when you start to look for it in people that you know, and like even people that you casually know and stuff like that, it's not hard to notice it when somebody is hurting, when somebody is suffering, when somebody is going through something a bit difficult. And I've noticed this, like, it's not just recently, like during your time on the internet, you're always going to come into contact with people that have, you know, issues or problems or things that they don't want to talk about, or, you know, things that they think they should face on their own. And that's just a part of life. Unfortunately, there is always going to be people that have gone through difficult times, that are going through difficult times, and they don't quite know how to deal with it, or they're just incapable of reaching out for help or finding a way to ask for help. Now, before you get all worried, no, I'm not depressed. No, I'm not suffering from any mental issues or anything like that. I'm perfectly fine. Actually, my life is really, really good right now, and my sense of self-worth is actually quite high. I'm really happy with myself. I'm not saying that I haven't had low moments. I've never been depressed. I wanted to address that. I've never had suicidal thoughts and all of that stuff. Like, I've been through some, you know, interesting relationship breakups that have affected my mental health a little bit, and I have been low at points, but I've never been what you would call depressed or anything like that. The most that I can relate to people that are struggling with actual mental illness, like depression, suicidal thoughts, and stuff like that, like I said, is some slightly difficult times in my life. That's about it. Nothing to the level of what you would describe as somebody that actually is depressed or is suffering from mental thoughts or mental problems or something like that. The point that I wanted to make in this video isn't directly addressed to people that are suffering from these issues. It's to the people like myself. It's to the people that are friends with people that you know might be suffering, that if you know a family member or something like that that is going through some difficult times, this is more addressed to those people, myself included. And the point that I wanted to make in this video is that you have to actually go out of your way for these people. If you have someone that you genuinely care about, or you even know casually that is going through stuff like this, I'm not going to say that you have to help them, because you don't. You can ignore these people. Like, if you know that someone is suffering, you don't have to help them. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm asking you to do it. Because we need more of that in the world. We really do. At this point, there are so many people out there, like, that are going through shit, that all they need is someone to listen to them. You don't have to be a psychiatrist, you don't have to be a grief counselor, you don't have to be any of that shit. You don't have to have gone to a fancy school and learned about the inner workings of the mind to sit down and listen to someone. And sometimes that's all it takes. Because genuinely, the best experiences I've had helping people and trying to help people haven't been through me telling them what to do. They've been through me not knowing what the hell I'm doing and simply just sitting down and talking to someone and listening to them. And the trick to helping someone, it's not to panic, it's not to try and find the right answer, it's not to try and, you know, instantly make them feel better. The trick is to care about them as a person. The trick is to sit down and actually care about them and genuinely hear what they have to say, listen to what they're trying to say, be compassionate overall, and actually care about the person that you're talking to. When someone is suffering, all I can imagine is myself in their circumstances. and how much I would love it if someone talked to me, if someone was willing to listen to my problems, if someone was just there for me. That's all it takes. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people aren't willing to talk. They don't know how to talk. They feel weak or disempowered by talking because they don't want to burden you, because they don't like thinking of themselves in that light. But if you can push through that and just say, look, it's totally fine. What you're going through now, it doesn't discredit you as a person. You're not any less of a person for what you're going through. It's not your fault for what you're going through, and I'm here for you. That message in itself is a very, very powerful one, and it can help reach through that divide and wall and barrier that people have when they think that they're suffering alone. So many people, when they are suffering, they're having suicidal thoughts or stuff like that, they don't want to reach out for help because they don't want to bring people down to their level. They think they're being nice, they think they're being tough, and that they can, you know, get through it. And a lot of people have gone through mental issues and mental problems by themselves and come out of the other side of it better and stronger people. That's fine, I'm not discrediting those people, but you can't discredit the fact that when someone is there to listen to you and just share in your problems, those problems become instantly lighter and instantly better. Like, I have amazing people in my life. Like, they're all amazing, and I think very highly of all of them. Really, I do. And the fact that some of them are going through difficult times or have had experiences in their life that have affected them mentally doesn't mean that I think of them any less. It doesn't mean they're any less people. It doesn't mean that they're not awesome people. We're not defined by our problems, really we're not. We're only defined by the way that we get through them. And the way that you should tackle these problems, if you're having a bad day, if you're having a bad hour, if you're just really down, if you're struggling with something, the way that you help alleviate that is you talk to someone. You find someone that you trust and you talk to them. Of course, you don't just want to go and talk to some random person, because that person might not react in a way that would encourage you to talk to people again, which is sad, but that's the truth. You want to find someone that you're comfortable with, whether it be a family member, whether it be a friend. There are, of course, professional helplines and chat rooms and stuff all over the internet that will help you with this kind of thing, but basically you need to find that person that is compassionate and actually cares about you and is willing to listen to you and will take you seriously. And taking that first step and actually asking for help is the important one. You don't have to immediately broadcast that you do actually need help. That's the thing. A lot of people feel like, you know, asking for help is like, it's too hard. They can't do it. The thing is, you don't have to ask for help. Even being in close proximity with people, even being around people, friends and family can help. You don't have to immediately go straight into the deep end and say, look, I'm struggling, I need help. What you can do is you can just go and hang out with people. They don't have to know that they're helping you, but they would be. You can just go and sit with them in a room, listen to music with them, you can go and hang out with them, chill with them, and that will help. And it helps you become more comfortable being around them, and until you get to the point where you're willing and able to share what you've been going through and stuff like that. And something that I really, really do want to stress, if you take away one thing from this video, is that there are people out there that care, that are always willing to help you, and you talking to them will never be a burden because you would do the exact same for them. And that's really what friends are for. When you make a friend, when you make a best friend or family, that's what they're there for. They're not there just when you're in a good mood or when you're happy or stuff like that. They're there for when you're at your worst, at your low. They're there to pick you up because you would want to do the same for them. Like I said, you don't have to know what you're doing, you don't have to be a professional, you don't have to have taken courses for any of this shit. You just need to listen to them and care about them and offer a shoulder, offer an ear to listen to them. And sometimes that's all it takes, is for someone to show that they actually care and are listening. That helps so much more than you could even possibly imagine. So if you do know someone that is struggling, if you do know someone that is going through some difficult times, reach out to them, because a lot of them will not and do not know how to ask for help in a lot of ways, and it's just better if you take that first step. You just say, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling today? And just try and work from there. Try and push through the answer that's always going to be, I'm fine, because I'm fine is the response that 95% of them will give you. And if you know they're not fine, just push through that. And there's no shame in being a little bit nosy. There's no shame in trying to help a person through that. Obviously, don't push them, because a lot of the time that can stress them out. Just let them know that you know that they're not okay, that they're not fine and that you're there willing to listen, and be a bit persistent about it. Don't just do it once, you know, maybe try again the next day, continue checking up on them. Basically, everything that you would do to someone that you genuinely care about when you know they're in trouble. That's advice that I can give you for someone that is looking for ways to help people that are struggling. And for people that are going through difficult times, don't be afraid to ask your friends for help. You're never going to burden them. In fact, you not telling them what you're going through, you're not telling them how you're feeling, is more of a burden to them. Because friends and family are there to help you in your worst moments. They're there to help you when you're feeling down. They're not just there to help you when you're up on top of the world and feeling really good about yourself. Lastly, I'd just like to say, no matter what you're going through, no matter what experiences you've had, no matter where you are right now, the thing that I always want you to remember is that things always get better. The one thing I've learned in my life through my limited experiences and through relationships that have come and gone, people that have come and gone, through lessons learned and experiences had, things always get better. And it's always worth hanging in there just to see what those things are, whether it be new people coming along in your life, whether it be new relationships coming along in your life, whether it just be happy times, whether it be new experiences. Just, there's always something new out there. There's always better people out there. There's always better experiences out there, and it will always get better. Even if it doesn't look like it now, even if it doesn't feel like it, all you have to do is focus on surviving that one day and then the next day. Keep it in the moment, because things always improve. And life genuinely is worth living, I can assure you of that. For all the people you'll meet, friends you'll make, places you'll go, things you'll taste, smell, feel, all of that stuff is worth living, it's worth experiencing, and I can assure you, you will thank yourself for having the mental strength to get there.